extended fund faculty review mission will evaluate whether Pakistan's FY26 budget, spending allocations and emergency provisions are adequate and flexible enough to address the crisis. This comes after the devastating Pakistan floods, which has claimed more than 900 lives so far. The country's central bank is expected to keep its key rate at 11%, balancing inflation risks from agricultural damage against a slowing economy. A $1.4 billion IMF loan approved in May to boost Pakistan's economic resilience to climate disasters is pending successful competition of the EFF reviews. Pakistan is ranked among the countries most vulnerable to climate change, according to the Global Climate Risk Index. We are now joined by Major General Sudhakar Ji. He is a political and strategic defence expert, and he joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us, Major General. Could you tell us, first of all, before we go into this, into the financial aspect, about these floods and how devastating they have been to Pakistan? Over 900 people killed in this year.
Thomas, good afternoon. Thank you for getting me to your show. And as regards the question which you were asking, this perhaps is going to be the third or the fourth one consecutive in past 5 years' time that Pakistan has been subjected to these kind of unprecedented floods. This time, the flood is highly devastating. There are 900 people as of now who are claimed to have died or missing. There are many more going to be reported very soon. Because the areas getting affected is actually generally, this is the most vulnerable area in Pakistan, which washes away not only the crop, but the living habitat, the assets of the government, public assets, as also the private assets, besides the human being lives and the livestock. And it being an agrarian state, Pakistan actually loses out a lot because of these floods which have been experienced in past couple of years. This year it has been more devastating than the ones which were seen in the past. Back to you, Thomas.
Yes, and do you think these current spending allocations, over $1 billion, provide enough flexibility to respond to a disaster of this magnitude?
We all know what Pakistan is, and a state known for transborder terrorism and resorting to double talk, not having an original architecture and philosophy and a strategy to survive as a nation state, is already in deep trouble and deep debt, be with China or with the IMF World Bank. I was just roughly calculating how much of debt that Pakistan has on today. It's got approximately 310.58 billion as on August 31st August 2025. If this be the kind of total internal and external burden of the loan that it has, you can well imagine. And Pakistan, the 30% of this is actually owed to China. So, and it being related to CPEC, it has got its own dynamics. So therefore, the debt to GDP ratio, it ranges anything between 73.6% to 88%, which is very high for a developing economy. And the GDP of Pakistan being what it is today, around $357 billion, the inflation is very high, and the economy has not actually bounced back in a significant manner. And they continue to support terrorism in issues which are detrimental to socio-economic growth. So under this backdrop, I personally feel the amount which is being given is, although part of, I'm given to understand, 25th bailout, which was actually sanctioned in the month of May 2025. It is part of that, I have been given to understand by very reliable sources. If it is other than that, even then this amount is actually a measly sum. This may not be sufficient to meet the immediate requirement of Pakistan. As such, as per my calculation, it requires something close to almost about $80 billion by the end of the year, simply for debt servicing, the interest servicing. So where does Pakistan get this fund from? Apart from recycling the amount which is coming from IMF on different names and headings. These are the only, it is actually compounding the complexity of the finance management of the Pakistan. I only hope and
Yes.
pray that people who are suffering on ground, they are given some kind of, resuscitation to survive and go through this particular dilemma, natural disaster which they face.
Yes, Major General Sadaq Haji. Thank